Trim and silence. There are two controls right in the middle of Audacity's toolbar that are frequently overlooked. They are the Trim Audio Outside Selection and Silence Audio Selection tools. For obvious reasons, I just call them Trim and Silence. They are the two little buttons immediately to the right of Cut, Copy, and Paste on the main toolbar, shown here with a green outline. Now, I have to admit that from the point of view of a VO performer, those two buttons don't have a big role in my typical workflows. They are both a bit peculiar, and they both operate relative to a selection of audio. Specifically, Trim removes all audio outside the selection. Silence removes the audio inside the selection. Both work without altering the timing of the track. In other words, the selection remains, only the amplitude of the audio inside or outside the selection is affected. In both cases, it's reduced to nothing. The default keyboard shortcuts for this are Control-T or Command-T for Trim and Control-L or Command-L for Silence. Here's a comparison of how Trim and Silence work on the same selection on a track. I honestly don't find much use for the Silence command in audiobook work. Since we never want complete silence in an audiobook, the uses are limited. I do find occasional use for it when I'm mixing other VO projects. It's useful to silence unwanted audio on a track without disturbing the timing of the rest of the audio on the same track. Trim, on the other hand, can be rather useful for a particular task that is done in every audiobook production: producing the retail audio sample. Since the retail sample is just an excerpt from the audiobook, here's a quick way to create one. First, find the scene you want to use for the sample in the finished MP3 of the desired chapter. Drag on the waveform to select the sample. Press Ctrl-T to trim everything except the selected audio, or click the Trim button if you prefer. Select Tracks, Align Tracks, Start to 0 from the main menu. This moves the audio to the beginning of the track, 0 time. Select File, Export to MP3, and provide the appropriate name for the sample file. That's it. Now you have two quick tools for silencing unwanted audio. If you run across a situation where you need one or the other, it will come in handy. Next time, I'm going to talk about another Audacity feature that I like to use when creating retail audio samples. See you then. P.S. In the previous tip, some of you commented on the different colors in my Audacity screenshots. That's just the dark theme, which is selectable in Preferences under Interface. I try to take screenshots from different platforms because some of you use Macs, some use Windows, and a few even on Linux. If anything ever confuses you, drop me an email, stuart.gofie@gmail.com. Every question is useful.